Hey everybody, welcome to another monthly update. This is the month of March of 2025 in my personal journey as I go through investing. Last month, the account was sitting at $322,906. And this month, the end of the month, we're showing a downward trend again. We're sitting at $320,233. Now, I am shooting this on April the 3rd. The video that I shot about the portfolio was actually shot on April the 1st that I'm referring to. So there's a couple of days lag. This morning when I woke up like a lot of you and found out that my portfolio had actually dropped quite a significant amount again. So stay tuned for next month to find out what that actually looks like. If you're new here, you're watching The Crazy Canuck Investor. My name is Darren. I started this channel at the age of 50 to document my journey because I'd missed out on a lot of investing time and realized, boy, I made a lot of mistakes. I'm sharing the journey. I've got an entire library of almost 100 videos now documenting everything from day one to up to today, and we'll continue to do this over time so that if you're brand new and you want to see how to get started, you can use this as a guide. Now, we're using Passive today. Passive is a great tool to bring all of your accounts together in one place. So you link your account from your brokerage and it brings all the information together in one place. So we're going to use this to show all the metrics for the various accounts. Now, the channel was started in order for me to document me growing my TFSA from zero to maxing it out, all the buys, all the sells, and all the mistakes that I make. Those are my mainstream videos. Check out it in the video description below if you want to check those out. Now, like I said, we are using Passive today. Passive is a great tool. Now, Passive does have a cost to it if you want to use the elite version. That elite version does bring a lot of different parts that will help you manage your portfolio and do things that you can't do with the free version. But if you just want to check it out, you can definitely check out that free version. If you're just starting out and you want to use my affiliate link below, you'll help support the channel and you'll get a discount off that $99 fee for the elite version. That's an annual fee. As one bonus, of course, if you're a Questrade user, you actually get to use Passive for free. So go check that out if you're new here. Now, there are a lot of other tracking tools out there, and I hope to do some videos on that in the future just to see what they're all about so I can share that with you guys. But for now, this is the one that we're using. All right, so we're going to jump right into the portfolio and we're going to look at things from start to finish. All right, so like I said, the whole portfolio is sitting at $320,233. Now, when we look on the screen, you're going to see a sharp increase. That's the green line there, where it looks like there's actually been a great deal of activity in growth. But as we know right now, President Trump is actively slapping tariffs on different countries around the world, including Canada. It's having an effect across the stock market, which is why I woke up this morning to my portfolio being the way that it is. That sharp increase that you're seeing right there is not reflective of me putting a whole bunch of money in the account. Something else is going on. Stay tuned because I will be doing a video on it to explain what's going on there. All right, so one of the nice things about Passive is you can actually search various time frames. In this case, I'm showing you the month of March, which is 2025, from the 1st to the 31st. Now, the metrics that show how much we put in and the rate of return, they're inaccurate right now, as I said, because I'll need to explain that in a future video. Right now, the dividends for the month, the average amount of dividends earned on them, keep in mind, this is the entire portfolio, is $1,095. So the portfolio sits, like I said, around $320,000. So I'm earning $1,095 in dividends. And I'm not a dividend investor or a true dividend investor. I have a broad base of ETFs with some dividend and individual positions. But for that kind of portfolio, that's how much we're making. We don't pay any fees or commissions because we're using Wealthsimple. And of course, if you're following the news or watched one of my previous videos, you'll see that Questrade is trying to match Wealthsimple, and they're offering zero trade commissions, as well as fractional shares and a lot of other great features. So go check out that video because it'll help explain it. It gives the customer various choices in your brokerages that you may want to use. All right, like I said, there's no fees or commissions that we've paid. Okay, so now we're going to look at the entire portfolio with everything up to date. So this is from all-time returns from when I started, and we're actually coming up on the anniversary of the channel. The first video I posted was April 21st. of 2023. So we're coming up on that 2-year anniversary. And I'm happy to say that I have a special video that's coming out. I actually did an interview on somebody else's channel, so stay tuned to check that out. I'll have a link and a trailer and whatnot when that actually comes out. It's going to be lots of fun. It was great to do the interview with this other YouTuber. Okay, so we're just going to skip over the investment growth and the contributions to the account because I've already explained that those are inaccurate, but the dividends are correct. So all-time return. So in the month of March, as I said, there was about $1,000 on average of dividends. Average dividends for the entire portfolio in the entire time I've been investing is $746. Now we can see here that there's fees and commissions of $401. That's because part of our portfolio is with Questrade and part is with Wealthsimple. So when I initially started investing, there were some fees that I paid with Questrade to get the money invested and growing, but I haven't had to do any of that for a long period of time. So when we look down at the dividends as a whole, we can see that we have a nice chart here that tells us where all those dividends came from. It lists the name of the tickers on the left-hand side, and then you can see how much each is producing as far as dividends go. The very first one there is HYLD, which is a covered call strategy, and it's producing the most dividends, which makes a lot of sense. But of course, there's not a lot of upside or growth in that covered call strategy. You're looking at that all-time return when you get your dividends and reinvest them back in. So the estimated savings by using Wealthsimple is $950. So imagine that $950 invested over time and compounding. It's going to grow, come time that you're going to retire. In my case, like I have 8, 10, maybe 15 years to go. You guys might have 20, 30, or even 40 years. If you take that $950 and you grow and compound that over 20, 30, 40 years, you're going to see that's a very significant amount. So in order to find efficiencies in your money and watch it grow, these are the keys. Start young. Don't wait like I did. Don't wait till you're 50. Start really early. All right, so total dividends from the day I started investing, 2 years ago or nearly 2 years ago, $18,173. Now imagine what that would be like I said, if you started this so much earlier. You're going to be so much further ahead than I am. Okay, so now we're going to go through each of the accounts. And like I said, the one that gets left out here is my TFSA because that one is in my mainstream videos that I shoot. So if you want to check out the progress in that particular account, go check that out. So the first one we're going to start with is my spousal account. So if you don't know what a spousal is, I make the contribution, get the tax credit. My wife takes that money out later in life. She makes just slightly less than me, so it's a way to share your income between the two of you. So we can see here that the spousal account is sitting at 88% accuracy with the asset allocation that I've set up. So we're drifting a bit. I don't like to see it drop below about 92%. But of course, as the portfolio changes with the dollar values going up and down, it can affect each of the percentages for each security that I have. So we have cash sitting in there, $44 in CAD, $2 in USD. Total account sitting at $79,952. And of course, one of the nice things about passive is it's one-click trading if you use the elite version of this particular software. And what that means is you can see here where it says preview orders. So if I want to, I can hit the preview order button and it will actually make the trades because I'm a customer with Questrade. Now with Wealthsimple, it doesn't work. It'll recommend the trade, but I can't use one-click trading with Wealthsimple, but with passive and Questrade, I most definitely can. So that's actually a really great feature. All right, so here's my wife's account. This is her RRSP. It's the biggest account that we have right now. We're sitting at 92% accuracy. Like I said, I'm very comfortable with that. I like to see it not go below 92%. We have $461 in CAD sitting in there, and we have $269 in USD. Now, if you've been following me for a while, you'll know that that's a lot of money for me to have sitting in there. So you'll have to stand by and find out in further videos what's happening there and what we're going to do with that money. Total value of the account is $153,442. And you can see here, because there's so much money in there waiting to be traded, it's making suggestions about which securities that we should buy based on the asset allocation here. So you can see at the top we have VOO, the S&P 500, and you can see there between the blue line and the green, there's a gap. Over on the right, you can see the actual percentages of 28.6, where the target is 30%. So its recommendations are based on those percentages. And of course, I will figure out what to do with that in the very near future. Okay, now we have what I like to call my kids' TFSA, because we are teaching them what to do. And in actuality, this is my wife's TFSA, but we're using it with my kids in order to teach them the things that I didn't learn. Let's face it, as a parent, no book. Investing, nobody really teaches you this stuff, and I really wish I had learned a lot about this. I know I'm a lot more educated now than I ever was, and I want to pass that knowledge on to my kids so they are better prepared when they get older. So whatever I learn on this channel, not only am I sharing it with you guys, but obviously I'm teaching my kids the same principles so that they have a good foundation to start with. What they decide to do when they turn to be adults obviously is up to them, but I'm hoping that we can build their foundation up so they can grow their wealth over time. So at this point in the video, I just want to take the time to acknowledge all of the viewers. The channel is actually growing more than I actually really anticipated. We're over 1,600 subscribers right now. And of course, I'm getting lots of people that are watching the material. Hopefully you're getting something out of it. My lens is, I think, somewhat unique, which is one of the reasons that I had done this interview with this other YouTuber, to provide a different perspective. Obviously, I'm older in life, unlike a lot of people that could potentially start this earlier. But if you are actually getting something out of this, of course, always subscribe and give a thumbs up. And I love it when you guys drop comments. That's always really helpful, because some of you actually provide me with some input or guidance, or vice versa. I love the comments, so please feel free to leave some comments. Tell me what's going on in your portfolio. How big is it? How have you been doing as far as the growth in your portfolio? Those kinds of things. I always like to hear that kind of stuff. Now, generally, I go over the activity tracker and I show you some of the trades and things that I've done. But over the last, I'd say 3 to 4 weeks, I haven't done much trading at all, only in my TFSA, which was the last video that I posted. And that one is all about tariffs and the effects on the economy. My portfolio, because this channel is me showing you my journey and sharing all the lessons that I'm learning along the way. And I learned a lot about tariffs. So if you want to find out the reality of what that's all about, check that video out, because there's some good learning stuff in there that will hopefully make you feel a little bit better about what's happening in the markets. Because as I said this morning, I woke up and saw another huge drop in the portfolio. But the big thing is to remember that you don't want to react out of fear, and educating yourself will hopefully make you feel a little bit more comfortable about what's going on right now in the markets. Speaking of education, educating yourself in the investing space, if you're really looking for a diverse way to learn with other investors, check out Blossom Social. I'm on there, lots of other YouTubers are on there, and just a wealth of experience in other investors. You can learn all kinds of investing strategies, what's hot in the markets these days. They have great learning tools and so forth. But before you jump over and use Blossom Social, you should actually make sure you watch this video right here.